running mate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Member of Parliament for Mencia South. Now, my guest has been touring with his boss in the western part of the country. They've just made a whistle stop in Accra on their way to other regions, and we decided to drag him in studio. He was a broadcaster before he became a politician. Or I don't know if he was a politician, but he's been hiding it and became a journalist.
Yes, I got hiding.
Fiifi Boafo, you're welcome to my show.
Thank you, Sander.
How are you?
It could have been better, but it's not bad.
I've been following you for long when you were doing your media job from Adum FM, when you ran away to go and collect more money at Oman FM after Ken City Media started. It's okay. Continue. How are you? You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
I thought you issue a disclaimer or something. You won't.
Oh, well, there was a reason why Ken City decided to poach me from Adum FM. And, of course, why not? If it comes with some...
Small happiness.
Well, not happiness per se, but something to cushion you to take care of the family. Why not?
Yeah. But that was many years ago. I was in secondary school when you did that massive...
So I started chopping millions when you were in
secondary school. When I was in secondary school. I was eating Gary when you were being poached. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
Charlie, very well.
How is the campaign? You've not done... Okay, you're a journalist, so you may have followed a candidate around, but I'm not sure you've done a national campaign like this where you're moving up and down before.
Well, so because of the job as a journalist and as a political reporter, I've been engaged in this since 2000, so about 24 years now. Wow. So it's not entirely new, but this time around, of course, slightly different now. You are part of a team managing a running mate. Mm-hmm. That's slightly different. But of course, the dynamics are not entirely different. Okay. It is what I've been used to since 2000 involved in this.
Is it difficult to manage Napo? You can confess, I won't tell him.
No, but then if there's something to say, I think the first person I'll mention it to. Okay. Because being part of a team, the first thing you need to do is to do a SWOT analysis, do an assessment, give feedback on what is happening within the team. So if there's somebody to say something to with regards to how the team is performing, definitely he's the person to say it, to not to Sander.
I see. But, I mean, my people wanted to know, so I was going to whistle to them after you tell me that, so I'll tell people that...
Your people? Who are your people?
My listeners.
Oh.
I think they want to know.
They want to know whether it is difficult.
What kind of person is Napo? I mean, outside what we see on the TV, here on the radio, in private life, how is he like?
He's a tease.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a jovial person, very forthright. He's fun to be with. He's strict. And he's a result-oriented, go-getter, that kind of person. So you find him at one point in time very serious about, we must get this thing done. But when we are done with that conversation, he will move on and he starts teasing you. I hear the people after you, and he's laughing at you, and that's it. Yeah.
I see NDC people especially, even though maybe there are other critics who may not be political, they write stuff on social media like, Napo is speaking today, or everybody wait for it. It's almost like whenever he speaks, he generates headlines, lots of them very controversial. And that's why I asked you the question, whether it's difficult to manage him, because you have been at this side of the microphone before. You know some of the faux pas from politicians that sometimes may even be unpardonable. Your boss appears to be the man who makes the headlines, sometimes for the wrong reasons. That's what I'm asking. Is it difficult to manage his communication?
I said this on radio yesterday when someone asked, really, is he making the news for the bad reasons? And I said, okay, so what is news? You have a gentleman who will be in 3 constituencies in a day. 3 constituencies in a day. In a constituency, you will spend about 40 minutes at 4 different places talking to the people. And someone within a week decides that out of all the things he said, pick some 5 seconds soundbite out of it and says that it defines all the things he's been saying to the people and that he considers to be the news. That's what you want to put out there, but that is not what he's sharing with the people, and that is not the feedback the people are getting from him. Because I've been with him, we've been moving around the country, and I've been listening to him. I've been getting the feedback from the people. The feedback you get from the people is not what some people want us to believe it is. Because genuinely, This is a man, when you go out there with him, the people perceive him as, the guy who is very, very hardworking and who will get you a result when you give him the opportunity to serve you. Because who is Napo? Napo is a gentleman who has been a member of parliament for 16 years. And when you go to Menchia South, the people of Menchia South will tell you that he's had a massive impact on the constituency. He has delivered. Indeed, before Dr. Bawumia nominated him to be his running mate, the people in Menchia South had voted for him to represent them again in parliament. So his impact in the constituency is there. He served as a minister of state. I can ask you today, what is the Napo story as Minister of Education? And I'm sure it won't take you a second, a microsecond, to say that, that's the guy who led the team to implement the free SHS policy. I am very sure. If I should ask you, Professor Nanijin Pukwajiman, as Education Minister, what is their story? It will take you a while. I'm not asking you. That's not your job to do. But it will take you a while. But the person listening to me, if I should pose the question, tell us, what did Napo do as Education Minister? Or tell us, what did Professor Gina Pukwajiman, what did she do as Education Minister? And I'm sure the positive you will have to say about Napo will be enormous. Same cannot be said of Professor Gina Pukwajiman.
Maybe I'll say that she set the foundation for you to build the free SHS on by leaving behind classroom blocks for you.
Could you kindly elaborate that foundation? What sort of foundation?
E-blocks. That became your savior when you were overwhelmed with students.
That's not the case. You see, I like the fact that you're trying very hard in getting an answer for us.
Why are you explaining how I'm getting there?
No, you're struggling.
Who said I'm struggling? Who said I'm...
It's pretty obvious. Like, maybe I could say...
I don't speak for her. I'm just saying.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't even attempt it, because it will not do good to your reputation.
Fifi, you said that...
So I am saying that the perception out there when Napo is engaging the people is that this is the guy who will deliver you results. At the Ministry of Energy, when people were concerned about Dumso, recently we had some challenges.
He told us to go and have our own Dumso timetable.
What Napo told you was that he was going to get the problem fixed. And the problem is fixed.
What Napo told us was disrespectful, condescending, and uncaring. That's what he told us. He said we should go and create our own timetable.
So that is how you want to understand it. What Napo said was, I do not believe that there is Dumso which requires us to get a timetable. The problem will be solved. Today, do we have Dumso? Has the problem been solved? Yes, the problem has been solved. And that is Napo. When you give him the job, be rest assured, he shall give you a result. It should tell you something.
But Fifi, he wants to be our chief or second chief servants. And yet, when he speaks to us, we are not happy, we are angry. Does it mean you have to help him with how to communicate? Look, last week, I did an interview with you because there was an audio in circulation that he had said he was going to bring back Galamsey. He was going to go and return excavators to miners. I interviewed you. You said that did not happen. You're going to send me a full video of what transpired. We didn't have a reporter there. You sent me a 21-minute video. I have watched the whole thing. I did not hear him, in fairness, to have said that they return miners. It does not mean that there's a possibility you have cut it out. I don't know. It's possible you have cut it out. It's possible you have not. I'm saying possible. No.
At least you should say that I know Fifi and I know his reputation.
No, I don't know you. How can I say I know you and I know your reputation?
Oh, really? You're doubting my reputation, Sanda. Come on.
Fifi, I'm just saying that.
But you know me.
I'm just saying that these are possibilities. It's possible that the audio that we played was doctored. It's also possible that what you sent us, you have taken Napo's thing. But my point is that in that video, the first 1.5 minutes or so, he says something like this. Those of you blowing the vuvuzela, I'm going to spend only 40 minutes with you. If you will not keep quiet and stop playing the vuvuzela and listen to me, I'm leaving.
You are sounding different.
That's how he said it.
No. He said that, but you are sounding different. You see, you can say...
Why would you say things like that?
Wait a minute. You can say the same thing, but the tone would connote something different.
Okay.
So I can tell you, those playing the vuvuzela, I have 5 minutes to spend here. Please stop playing the vuvuzela so I can make my point.
That would sound nice. But it didn't sound like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But back to the point. So, Sanda, there's something I have said in one of my conversations on radio, where a journalist called me and said, "Oh, Napo has said this, and why must he say that?" So I posed the question. Napo has been around. Mm-hmm. Napo has been talking about the fact that under Dr. Bawomia's presidency, he will promote agribusinesses. Napo has been talking about under Dr. Bawomia's presidency, he will ensure that our youth who are out there who do not have jobs, he will give them jobs. He's talking about the fact that as part of industrialization drive, people will be employed. We're training 1 million youth with IT skills that will make them employable. The number of infrastructure projects we have across the country, which have been left to rot, some not in the best of shape, government will partner with private sector, refurbish these infrastructure projects we have across our country. Carpenters, masons, plumbers, tilers, electricians, about 500,000 of them would get jobs. With agribusiness, we'll look at each enclave. What do they have? How best can we help them industrialize what we have beyond just producing raw materials? All these things, Napo is talking about them. But you call as a media person, and what is your interest? Your interest is, he says something else. You ask yourself, genuinely, what is the interest of the people listening to radio? Are the people listening to radio interested in job creation? I believe the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. But the media says, no, we are not interested in discussing that. Mm-hmm. Are they interested in the fact that some of our the infrastructure projects out there, it is not in the best of shape? Mm. You don't want to have a conversation about it, but you bring it out. So that's why I'm saying that if you go out there...
Are you blaming the media?
I am not.
Because I remember when you were hosting the national agenda.
I am only telling you that I have accepted the fact that now the business of the media is to be in business.
Mm-hmm. And to report what people have said.
So the business of the media is to be in the business. And this is the explanation to what and this is the explanation to what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The business is that what would be the sensational story?
Really?
What will get people going to read the story? Because the headline you see, I can bet you I've not sat in your editorial meetings, but at least they've been around for a while.
Was that what you were doing when you were hosting national agenda?
I have been around for a while, and I know that day in, day out, what the media houses are looking for is what is bringing the numbers. What will people want to listen to?
Okay.
Is it the same as what is really in the interests of the state? Because... Is
that new, or it's always been like that when you were practicing this job?
So, hitherto, I remember my days at Adom FM. Yes, at the end
I want us to use the Oman FM one.
I'll get to that. I've worked with a number of radio stations. I remember my days at Adom FM. At the end of every month, they will come back with what the multimedia people know as tracker. To say that, okay, yes, Adom is number this, this station is number that, this station is number that, and that is the basis of... Today, it is very easy to check. Because I remember those days, some of the staff would dispute it and say that, this is not the exact situation. I'm doing better than this. But these days, people will go on social media. They show City Eyewitness News is on. How many people are watching it live on Facebook?
Yes, you can see it.
You can easily see it.
How many people are reacting?
How many people are reacting to it? It is easy. And the interest of the radio station, the interest of the newspaper, or the interest of the online portal is how many people are following the stories you are putting out there. So it is in the interest of the media house to be in business. So I'm not in any way blaming the media, but to say that, yes, we admit that the media want stories that will excite their following in order to follow. But I'm telling you that the story being told out there is not entirely what it is.
If you know the problem that you have, then it should be easy for you to get the medicine. If you know that the media are waiting for you to make a slip and for them to publish, don't make a slip. But your candidate, either deliberately or maybe that's his nature, says the things that make the headlines.
So let me give you...
And they are negative headlines. So we haven't forced him to say the things he said.
So let me give you...
Nobody told him, say, Mukwame Nkrumah. He said it. The media reported what he said.
Sanda,
yes.
So on Saturday, Napo was at a rally in Kumasi. And Napo said, in fact, he was quoted. It was a headline. If you are in the Ashanti region and you vote for the NPP, you are a nation wrecker. And I remember very well that a lot of people sending me the headlines. What is this? What is the meaning of that? And I said, but he didn't say anything wrong. There was nothing wrong with what he said. And he asked me, why are you saying there was nothing wrong with what he said? And I said, okay, this is what he said. Politics is about development. Politics is about development. You live in the Ashanti region, where you have Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, of blessed memory, say that the Ashanti project is terrifying. He's from the NDC stock. You had the NDC administration rolling out what they referred to at the time as capitation under the National Health Insurance Scheme. They piloted it in the Ashanti region, and after the pilot, they did not implement it any other place. Do you know what the pilot scheme was? The capitation was about? The capitation was to restrict people. So, for example, if you live in Asokwa, you could only go to hospitals within Asokwa. You could not go beyond Asokwa to seek medical attention from a different place. This the people of Ashanti region considered that it came to affect them negatively. On top of that, former President John Dramani Mahama was the president of our dear republic. He went to the Ashanti region, and this is what he said to them. Even if we pave your roads with gold, you will not appreciate it. If I tell you today that, Sanda, no matter what I do for you, you will not appreciate me, it's a clear indication to you that, you know what, I've forgotten, I've written you off.
What's your point?
I'm making the point, just a second. I've written you off. There's nothing good I'm going to do for you, because no matter what I do for you, you won't appreciate it. So he makes the point that the people who have said this to the people of Ashanti region clearly do not intend developing the Ashanti region, because to them, no matter what you do for them, you won't appreciate it. So the fact that they do not see you, or the fact that they will not develop your region because they consider you as people who are not grateful, do not vote for them, because if you vote for them, then you are against the development of the region. And people said he has said something wrong. Without even, some of them, I even pursued further by asking them, so what did he say? They've not even read the story. They saw the headline, and then they started complaining that, oh, he's making the headline for the wrong reasons. What is the wrong reason? By telling people that politics is about development, and for that reason, you must vote for a political party that will develop your region.
So you are always heard and seen trying to explain what he has said. Has it not become a baggage for the campaign? Because when Baumia speaks, we don't see Gideon Boako and Dennis Miracle Abaji coming out all the way to explain, oh, and yes, son or can say. Why is it that you have to always come and explain? Does that not show you that there's a problem in the communication? And that there's something that has to be fixed in there?
Sanda, I am telling you that some people, let us also present the running mate in a certain light. If people decide to present you in a certain light,
why not go for the candidate? The running mate is just a mate.
Nothing stops you. If people decide to present you in a certain light, nothing stops you by also explaining the point to them that I am sorry, you are presenting me in the wrong light, and that is not who I am. Because who Napo is a go-getter. Who Napo is a result-oriented person. Okay. Who Napo is an achiever.
Very well.
So if you want to create a different impression about him, and he explains himself, and he said, oh, no, but why are you explaining yourself? Because you should not also sit unconcerned when people decide to sew a different dress for you to appear in public.
You will not wear it.
No, I will not wear it.
So what's going to be his campaign strategy? Would he do nationwide campaign, or he's going to restrict himself to some regions? What's your plan?
Well, we do not have a plan.
Wait. No. That's going to give you another headline. Napo's team has no plan. That would be a headline.
So you see,
if I was a host of National Agenda,
so that is the mischief I'm talking about. So the plan is, Napo is not a flag bearer. Napo is a running mate to Dr. Bawumia. There's a campaign team, so we work according to the plan of the campaign team. Napo on his own or his team cannot sit at one corner and say that, oh, we have carved an agenda for ourselves. There's something we are pursuing. We are going to, according to the campaign strategy of the national campaign team of the NPP. Yes, there are some constituencies being assigned to work in. Presently, we are working within the middle belt. Of course,
have you finished Western and Western North, or you took just a few constituencies?
There are some constituencies we're supposed to work in the Western region. We've done that. We've, at the moment, visited all the constituencies in Ahafo. We've been to Bono East. We finished all the constituencies in Bono East. We've done a couple in Bono, but we'll go back to finish all the constituencies in Bono. We've been to some part of Eastern region, but we'll go back to Eastern region.
Will you do Volta?
Again.
Is Volta on your plan?
Yes. Next week, for example, we'll be in Western North.
Okay.
And then when we get to Western North, we'll finish with all the constituencies in Western North. Yes, certainly we'll be in part of Volta and part of Northern region, but the major attention for what we've been assigned to do is not to spend a number of weeks in the Volta region.
But you'll be heavy on Ashanti, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, certainly.
The question is, are your running mate and your candidate, they appear to be doing the same thing. They go to do town hall meetings, meeting with the stakeholders, the chiefs and those things. Is it town hall forum? What you call it something? Youth for that connect.
So there's a community engagement. Are you not
doing the same thing? Do you not think maybe you should do a different thing than your flag bearer is doing?
No, not exactly. So the flag bearer will be, he's the main person, and he will be almost everywhere. The running mate is supposed to also engage different. They go to the same constituencies, but we engage different groups. So, for example, we went to some constituency in Ahafo, where they not go to the major towns in some of the constituencies, because when the flag bearer gets to that constituency, he will be visiting different towns. So the running mate was in the same constituency. So, for example, you go to, say, Ayawaso West Wogon, the flag bearer will be at East Legon, but the running mate may possibly go to Jolu. So you might think that, okay, they are engaging similar groupings. But then the fact that they are all going to the same constituency, one is going to Jolu, the other one is going to Abelimpe or East Legon. The wife of the flag bearer is also out there. She has a specific groupings she's also engaging with. So it is not just like they are duplicating each other, but then there's a clear strategy in the engagement that is ongoing.
Your
in the
confession that you may not be as heavy in the north and in the Volta region as you would be in the Ashanti gives an impression that your candidate, your running mate, is not national in character, and that either he's afraid of going to those areas, or he will not be welcomed in those areas. Why would he not be heavy in the north and in Volta? So
this is a ticket. The ticket has a flag bearer. The ticket has a running mate. The wife of the flag bearer, the wife of the running mate, the national executives of the party, and other key persons who are part of the campaign. I told you, the running mate is not running a campaign of his own. He is only a mate, if you like. He's assisting his boss. So his boss has a part he is working, whereas he is complementing the effort of his boss. So, for example, if there are places the boss is spending a lot of time, you do not also want to have the running mate spending the same amount of time there, but rather assigned to play another role at different parts of the country.
My segment for Point Blank is 30 minutes. We are coming up to 30 minutes. I have to sack you from the studio. But
boss. Charlie, for respect too.
I'm giving you 30 seconds to 1 minute to speak to maybe, I don't know whether you want to speak to NPP people or you want to speak to Ghanaians generally about your campaign.
Well,
I have a comment to make after you are done.
I think that there is every reason why Ghanaians must vote for Dr. Bawumia to be our president. We should not in any way have doubts in our minds as to deciding between upgrading as a people and resetting back to the days of Dumso, back to the days of Mema Ochoko and Mema Ochoko China, back to the days when we need electricity for basic necessities of life. We will be told that the fact that we charge too many mobile phones, we will we cannot have power supply at all times. We are not supposed to go back to the days where teachers and nursing trainees would not have allowances to help them study. We are not supposed to go back to the days where children of poor parents cannot have access to education. Rather, we are supposed to upgrade to the state where we can get employment for our people, we will digitize our economy, we ensure that bold solutions are there to address our problems as a people. Okay. And that is the more reason why you must vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be the president, and vote for the NPP parliamentary candidate to help him implement the bold solutions he's got for this country.
Thank you, Fiifi. But before you go, I tried to ask you this when I spoke to you on the phone, but since you're here in person, you are officially, your assignment is the head of communication for Cocoa Board. We are in a period where cocoa is struggling on so many levels. Galamsey has come to make it worse. Yet you are, if I use the word hobnobbing, is that an offensive word? You are moving around the country campaigning for a running mate of a political party. Yet you are with Cocoa Board, which is a state institution that you're supposed to be playing a certain agenda for. How are you marrying being a spokesperson of Cocoa Board and also doing the job of PRO of the running mate of a political party? Do you not think you should resign one so that you can concentrate on one, like your boss himself did? Napo resigned as Minister for Energy so he can campaign. Why are you not resigning? Why are you holding the two positions?
I'm not holding two positions. So, yes, I work at Cocoa Board, no doubt about it. But I'm entitled to leave this. I've worked for Cocoa Board for 7 years without taking leave. I think I've done about 5 days, 3 days in between. I was asked to be at post because my services were needed at the time. And deciding to do something else at a particular point in time, I wrote to my management, asked that I want to take my outstanding leave days, which management have granted. And I am not spending the time of Cocoa Board in doing this. Okay. I'm sure you're entitled to leave days. When you take your leave days,
I go to chill.
Sure, consider this chilling for me.
In swimming pools.
Consider this chilling for me.
Okay. So this is your annual. And so how long is your leave? Would it take you all the way to the election? And after the election?
For 7 years, I've not been on leave.
So, I mean, I just want to have an idea that it doesn't mean you are not going to return to the office until after the election, at least.
For 7 years, I've not been on leave, so I've taken my leave days.
But resign so somebody else can get the position of executive assistant of the chief executive.
Nothing stops you from applying, though.
Fiifi Boafo speaks for Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the running mate of the NPP. Thank you so much for joining us.
A pleasure is all mine.
Eyewitness News. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM.